Hi, Omega Khaos and with another real life deck profile, and this time I'm showing my Noble Knight deck. So I always wanted to build this deck, but unfortunately previously the cards were always too expensive for me and high rarity, but recently with a lot of reprints and new support I actually finally built this deck. So let's cover this deck. So first monsters. So first monster I use is a Noble Knight Artorgus. So you might wonder why I use this card. It's not that great, some would say. First, if you know the lore behind this card, you know that this card is this deck is pretty much revolved all around this card or monster and all its forms. And also I use Ladder to Lake, so I definitely had to include this card in this deck. Then I use one Noble Knight of Black Lancelin, pretty good as well. You can personalize by tributing a light normal monster, and then you can tribute the Noble Knight monster to search for Noble Arm spell card, equip spell card I mean. It's also level 5, so you can go into your rank 5 easier as well. So definitely I think it's a pretty good card, I would say. Then I use triple Noble Knight Castellan, which is one of the newer cards. Definitely really good card for sure. It gets you an extra normal summon if you use this card as exist material or link material, and then it helps you extend your combos and whatnot. So definitely a really amazing card for sure. In the lore, it's kind of like a successor to Artorgus. Then I use one Noble Knight Hector, a pretty good card as well, another level 5. You banish 2 Noble Knight monsters in the graveyard. Best summon this card from hand or graveyard. Definitely really amazing card for sure. Then I use triple Noble Knight Medraut. Pretty good card as well, of course. Previously this deck pretty much revolved all around this card to have it in your opening hand and whatnot, and still it's still very necessary, of course. It's because obviously equip Noble Arms, equip spell to it, and then you can spell summon any Noble Knight from the deck, then destroy the equip spell and stuff like that. It's definitely still really amazing, but you do have, of course, keep in mind that you have to have no other monsters. Then I use a triple Noble Knight Brothers. Really amazing card as well, of course. You normally summon this card, you can summon 2 other Noble Knights to the field, and also you can put either 3 Noble Knight monsters or Noble Knight equip spell cards into your deck, and then draw 1 card. So it also recycles your cards as well, so that's definitely really amazing for sure. Then I use one Noble Knight Boars, which is not very necessary anymore, but still useful in some situation. Of course, I do have to apologize a little bit for the disgusting platinum rares, but some of the cards, of course, that are not platinum rares are really hard to get. So I hope I can replace all of the platinum rares, because the rarity doesn't look good at all. So yeah, one of the Konami's worst experiments with rarities, I think. So yeah. Then one Noble Knight Ivana, pretty good card. If you equip spell to it, it gets a Noble Knight token, so you can go into soul and whatnot. Not sure how necessary it really is, but I think one is fine for now at least. Then I use 2 Merlins. So definitely really good because I'm tributed and then summon any Noble Knight from the deck. But of course, since it's a card you have to normal summon, running too many might conflict sometimes with your opening hands and stuff like that. So I think 2 is fine, but you could easily run 3 if you wanted to. Then I use one Quennefer, Queen of Noble Arms. Unfortunately, another disgusting platinum rare, but what can you do? So essentially another protection card. So definitely pretty good, I think. Then I use one Ladder to Lake. Obviously, one of your main tuner to summon out your Synchro. Definitely, I think it's pretty good. If you normal summon it, you can revive a normal Noble Knight. And also if it's in a graveyard, you can reduce one of the Noble Knights monsters levels and spell summon from the graveyard. If you use this card as synchro material, you have to banish it, so that's the kind of downside. But still, of course, I think it's pretty good. Then another one of the new cards is Morgan, Enchantress of Avalon. Really good protection card. If you have it first turn and stuff like that. So obviously it can negate anything, and then you have to destroy one of your noble arms, but since you equip them back immediately anyway when the noble arms are destroyed, it's not much of a cost. Definitely really amazing card for sure. But the downside, of course, is that it's not Noble Knight monster technically, so you can't search it by any means. And then I use triple effect wailers as the last monsters in the main deck. So of course, since you can't use any real traps really, so you have to use some hand traps. So effect wailer definitely is pretty good because it's also a tuner, so it's an alternative way to come into your synchro. Then the spells and the one trap. So I use 2 Noble Arms Excalibur because, of course, with this card equipped, the monster can't be targeted by card effects. It's definitely really good. Has a pretty good graveyard effect as well. Almost like a rank up effect essentially. Then I use 2 Noble Arms of Destiny because obviously it protects your monster from being destroyed by battle or card effect once when it's on face up on the field. And all the other Noble Arms have effects that if they're destroyed, then you can immediately equip them back to your Noble Knight monster. So definitely, it's really amazing. Then I use 2 Noble Arms Skeleton. Pretty good, because obviously it gives your Noble Knight doesn't attack, but the attack points get reduced by 200 every turn essentially. So that's kind of a downside. It's definitely still really amazing for sure. Then 1 Noble Arms Caliburn, pretty good. Your monster gets 500 attack, and then each turn you can gain 500 life points. So that's definitely pretty good. Might even run more of these, but right now I don't really have that much space, so we'll see. And then 1 Noble Arms Amphitheater. You can just destroy set cards. That's definitely really good. Of course, another name as well, because obviously with it's all that you have to have as many equipped with different names as possible. Then I use triple Heritage of the Chalice, another one of the newer cards, because and it's a really good searcher. It can search for any Noble Knight monster or Noble Arms card from the deck. And also if your Noble monster equipped with Noble Arms is destroyed by battle, you can add this card from the graveyard back to the hand. It's definitely a really amazing card for sure. Then 1 Reinforcement Army, obviously still a really good searcher. Then I use triple Cobra Grave, because this deck can obviously get stopped by hand traps. So Cobra Grave is definitely really good. So to make sure your plays go off. And then the only trap I use is until Noble Arms are needed once again. So on the field you can activate it and then activate cards from the top of the deck equal the number of Noble Arms equipped spells you control. So you can dig for stuff like Morgan or Effect Vader, and also in the graveyard, but you can't use this the effect same turn. You banish it to then summon any Noble Knight monster from the deck. So a lot of the time you might want to like reveal it with pores, so you either get it to your hand or it's sent to the graveyard, so next time you can go off even more. So definitely I think it's a pretty good card for sure, but I don't think you really need any more than 1. So that was the whole main deck. Now let's the X deck. It's not a complete X deck right now, so you can run any other links you want, or any other rank 4s, or even more of some of these cards. So right now I have 8 cards. So 1 Sacred Noble Knight of King Cartogress. Yeah, this card is actually pretty hard to get actually, because it has only had 2 prints. One in Shadow Spectres, I think, and of course one has the Platinum Rare in that box set. Of course you have to get a cheaper one, which is the Platinum Rare. But But I think, of course, this card is still really good, although you don't really summon it as often as in the old version. So, of course, the old version you didn't have Isolde. Then I used 2 Artogos, King of the Gnome Knights. My team around 3 of this card, because this is the main XYZ you go into every turn. It's really, really amazing. It can destroy back row as well. Then, one of the newer cards is second Gnome Knight of King Costarin. This card is pretty good for a tilt because it detach any number of exchange materials and bounce the same number of cards on your opponent's side. So definitely really good for getting rid of extra monsters and stuff like that. And if it's destroyed, then you can summon one of your Noble Knight exchange monsters on the X deck. Then the Synchro, the Noble Knight of High Lantern. Pretty good, I would say. You don't need to summon it that often, but of course your main tuner is Lady of the Lake, and the Effect Veilers are there as well. And then of course your main Link monster is Isolde, 2 Tails of the Noble Knights. Of course this card is abused in a lot of other decks as well, but of course mainly it's meant for this deck, of course, and family it works very well, and pretty much gets everything going in this particular version. So that was text deck. So this was my update, and not really update because it's of course the first real life Noble Knight deck I'm showing. So I'm definitely very glad that I finally was able to build this deck, which is actually one of my favorite archetypes from a really nice era for me. So I hope you enjoyed it. For now, goodbye and Khaos out.